Welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Cherry Time Lead, as usual, your very good friend. I'm still talking about positive parenting, and this time around we are on the stage of development which is called the teenage stage. Some people call it the adolescence stage, other people call it puberty, and so many others. But I'm here to tell you that as a parent, there are different levels of development. There is the other one that we've been talking about, the toddlers, the young children. Then there is this other second one, which we are on. It is a middle stage. It is a stage between childhood and adulthood. Some people call it adolescence. It is an adolescent stage. This is a confusion stage, simply because when you are in this stage of adolescence, you are neither an adult, you are not a young child. So, it is a stage where everything, like I've always been telling you, please watch my other videos. I know you will learn and benefit a lot from all these clips that I've been telling you. As a parent, there are certain things that you need to understand. There is what we call levels of development. From childhood, then to the middle age, which is adolescence, and then to the adult stage. You are still a parent of a child who is an adult. You are still a parent of a child who is an adolescent. You are still a parent of a child who is a toddler. And it is your responsibility as a parent to take care of this child through all these stages. You're still the same parent. You have to understand, and we as parents, all of us need to understand that there is what we call control. Having control over someone's life. You do not have full control over an adolescent. They have control over their own decisions. All you do is to speak to them and tell them what is right, and then they have control over themselves. You cannot make sure they do exactly what you told them to do. You cannot make sure they become exactly what you want them to become. Your work and role as a parent, you should not stress yourself to make sure they are exactly that. If that is what is at the back of your mind, my fellow parents, I'm here to inform you and to tell you sometimes it is really impossible, because these children have control over themselves. You can have control over a child, over a toddler, from 0 years up to around 12 years there. You have control over your child. You can do anything with your child. And these children also are going through different levels of development. So different levels of development affect your control over their lives. The control goes on decreasing as the children go on maturing. Your control decreases as the level of maturity increases. You go on lifting your hands slowly by slowly as a parent. You don't bring all your energy and enforce it on one person, on the child. You don't bring all your effort and put it on a person and you fixate yourself on that. My fellow parents, I'm here to inform you that we need to understand the levels of child development. Today, I'm talking about this very stage, adolescence. So many of our children get spoiled during this stage simply because of us parents, yet we cannot take full blame. They also have to be blamed for their own characters. But one of the most important things that I have realized as a parent, at all levels of development, we all need to learn one secret. And this is the secret that I am giving to every parent, the secret of love. Love your child at whatever stage, no matter the situation, no matter what. Even if the child is wrong, even if the child fails you, even if the child disappoints you, let your love for your child never cease. Your child is your responsibility. The Lord has given you that child, and the responsibility on top of that child to take care of him or her. This is one of the most important things that you need to know. Love your child no matter what. Even if anything wrong happens, it is the cry of my heart as parents, even as we are punishing them, even as we are speaking to them, let us do everything in love, knowing well that they are our full responsibility as parents. No one else has responsibility over that child. So many people, when they reach that level, the young people that we have in our houses, they feel neglected. There is a feeling that comes with that stage, a feeling that now that I am old, I think no one bothers to know, no one cares about me. Because you're lifting up your hands, you're raising your hands a little bit from them. You're lifting up your effort and energy a little bit from them. They will begin to imagine that now that they are no longer pampering me, now that they are no longer doing whatever they were doing before, I think now I have to take care of my own self. I think nobody cares. During this stage, self-rejection comes. Because some of them will develop as they are growing up. During this stage, they will experience a lot of changes in their bodies. They need help. They need your body. I mean, they need your help. They need your interference into their lives. Get into their lives and know and understand and let them grow up with you. Try to enter their lives a little bit. Not so much, not enforcing, not blaming, not judging, not doing anything that pushes them away, but instead trying to love them and bringing them closer to you so that you understand them more and they understand you more. This is a stage where we go through together. We go through this stage together with them. We go through this stage together with them. My fellow parents, children are getting spoiled every day. This is a level whereby every child now begins to look at themselves as rejected, as neglected, as not loved. Some of them even cry when you talk about the word love. They have not experienced it at all. All the love is given to toddlers. All the love is shown to other people, maybe friends, maybe relatives, maybe husband or wife. And this other child is left there, hanging. Have you ever realized that this is a stage where they need you, they still need you? Though you may think they are old, you may think they are mature, but they still need you. I'm here to inform you, my dear parents, it is really very, very important to notice this level of development. During this stage, children begin to understand. Their levels of development begin to grow. Their brain begins to think harder. The other time when the child was a toddler, you used to say, "Hey child, why have you done this? Never do it again." And then the child would take it like that. And maybe when they are even crying and you've beaten them, they will come back to you crying, because they don't have any other sense apart from that. But during this stage, you will speak one word like this, and this child is going to misinterpret it, cultivate it, calculate it, multiply it, add on it, subtract from it, and the understanding is higher. This time around, the brain is working harder than it was before. The other words that you used to speak when the child was still a toddler are the same words you're still speaking right now, but the child will understand them differently, simply because of this level of development. During this level, the child is not yet mature. Give the child that allowance of acting out, working out his or her own life, becoming who he is or who she is. Don't enforce whatever you want on the child. Allow the child to grow. Motivate everything that is good in that child. Destabilize, refuse, and speak against every negativity that you watch in your child. Bring the child closer, like I've always told you. Make the child a close friend of yours. During this stage, children will begin to consult. The other time when they were still toddlers, you used to order them around and they would not ask you questions why they have to do certain things. You would tell them, you, wake up, go and brush your teeth, hurry up, go and lay your bed. And sometimes they would even refuse. I'm still playing with my toys and this mommy is disturbing me. Because they didn't understand the reason why they're doing all this. But during this stage, a child will need to understand why they're doing certain things. So, more explanations are needed. More explanations are required during the teenage stage. Explain more why they have to do certain things, why they have to feed a certain way, why they have to avoid those groups, why they have to put on like that, why they've got to why are you telling them that? What is going to come out of that? It is more of explanation. For example, for us teachers who teach, when you're teaching a nursery baby, you have to use a lot of gestures, a lot of learning aids, learning materials. You bring something and you teach about it. If you're going to teach about orange, you bring the orange in class. You don't need to explain much. You use gestures most of the time to capture their attention, to make things interesting. Parenting can also be interesting when you understand the levels of development in your child. It can. I can assure you. It is a little bit stressing, but we can make it an interesting game and enjoy our game and enjoy our roles and responsibilities as parents until our children grow up to maturity. Because maturity is another beautiful stage where you will tell a child, after explaining you've gone through this stage of adolescence and the child reaches maturity. It is a stage where a child will be understanding everything. You tell them go and wash utensils. Even if you don't tell a mature person to go and wash utensils, the child will go and wash them. And he will even come and ask you if there is any other thing that you would like to be helped out in. Mommy, is there any other thing you want me to do for you before I leave? But during this stage of adolescence, it is a stage of negotiation, a stage of explanations. You have to really explain a lot. You have to negotiate most of the time. And the means of punishment, the means of administering discipline to these children is different. Actually, when you're administering discipline to the toddlers, it is not about it's now about conditions. You put a lot of conditions. If you don't lay your bed, I will not give you your toys to play with them. And then you fulfill it, and the child feels it in their heart, and is like, oh my God, mommy was serious, so she has not given me my toys simply because I refused to lay the bed. If you refuse to do this, I will not do this for you. Those are conditions for a young child, which you cannot apply on an adolescent. In adolescence, it is more about negotiation. You will see them negotiating. Mommy or dad, does it mean that if I do this and that, you will help me and also do this for me? It is like bargaining. It is a bargaining period. Children bargain. Children negotiate. They want you. It is about explaining yourselves. If you tell them something, they will tell you, I'm still saving my game. I'm still saving my game, and you don't even know what it means to save a game. But they're doing something fast. They want their priorities to also be noticed. They also want to be understood. They also want to be given priority. They want to be given a space of thinking, of imagining, of working, of giving. I was surprised during this COVID lockdown. I thought I didn't want to burden my children. Actually, I needed workers to work in my salon, to do door-to-door marketing for my products of rosemary. And I was surprised when my children were looking for jobs everywhere. and they were coming back. I got a job somewhere. Somebody told me there is someone who wants to wash chairs and they will be paying this amount of money. And I was like, what? I thought my children didn't want to be disturbed. I thought they want to stay at home like other children and watch TV and maybe do home duties. But now that they want to work, that means they want to expand their brain. They want to also become like others. So they are still under me. I still have responsibility to teach them to do business. So what I did, I gave them jobs. And we started allocating them duties and giving them jobs and paying them. I was surprised to notice that my children could do certain things. They sold my products. They worked for me in my salon. They learned a lot of things during this lockdown simply because I allowed them to expertise whatever it was that they had in them. They wanted to work, so I gave them work to do. During this stage, someone feels a lot of energy, a lot of strength, and wants to use it somewhere, somehow. If you refuse them from using this energy, they're going to use it the wrong way. They will find and devise means. You will find your children looking for jobs. Yet you have a lot of jobs and you're even looking for workers. Because they feel a lot of energy. They feel they can work. They feel they can do a lot of things at this time, at this level. Mind about them. Give them responsibilities. Work with them. I have already told you. These children you see are like any other children that you see around who are doing exploits. You can just empower them and motivate them to do whatever they are so good in. If you see that your child is so good at cooking, get your phone once in a while and load some data and show them some cooking tutorials about cooking. Let them learn more how to do cookies, how to bake, how to do this. If you see that your child is interested in tailoring, show them YouTube videos that are about that. If someone is interested in rearing animals, show them YouTube videos that are going to help them and educate them. These days, people are using their social media platforms to educate themselves. I have learned a lot of things just via media. I have learned how to make jewelries. I made this for myself. I made this. I make this. I made this. I do a lot of things, a lot of stuff in my salon. I make puff holders, but I have learned all this from YouTube. I want to appreciate you for always coming to be educated on how we parent, how we should parent our children. If we neglect this generation, where is it going? These are the doctors of tomorrow. These are the husbands and wives of tomorrow. These are the fathers that we have tomorrow. How are we trying our level best to make them better? Every day, learn something new that you can add on your parenting clips so that it is not a burden to you. No one woke up in the morning to start teaching us about parenting before we started parenting. We are learning all this via experience and from our fellow friends during the conferences that we do and the readings and research that we make when special about our children. It is really very, very important. I emphasize, very important. We are in a critical situation where we need all our children to be well, but we should also allow what God has put in their lives to come out. Allow them space to grow. I am so grateful that you're here. I'm so grateful that you've heard this. Drop your comment. Let me know what you're thinking about this. Thank you very much. God bless you. I love you so much.